Good morning. Thank you for joining the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha Review for Monday, February 15th. Happy Family Day to all of us in the Kehillat Shari Torah family and beyond. Let's speak a little bit about general tzedakah on Purim, because we've been speaking about the specific mitzvah of matanos levyonim, of giving gifts to the needy. So here is what the Mechaber Sefer here writes. The giving of tzedakah on Purim is somewhat different from the rest of the year. Normally, before disbursing any funds earmarked for tzedakah, we have a fiduciary responsibility to verify that the recipient is in fact in need. On Purim, this is not the case. One may give tzedakah funds without verifying the legitimacy of the case, as long as it appears to be legitimate at the time. This is based on the dictum of Chazal. Our sages of blessed memory encourage us on Purim, kol ha-poishet yad noistem lo, anyone who extends their hand in need, we should give to them. Brought in Shulchan Aruch. This style of giving is reflection. This is the important lesson for us. This is a reflection of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God's kindness with us, which was evident in the miracle of Purim. We were saved without God examining whether each individual person merited salvation. Didn't do research, didn't ask us for ID. Rather, Hashem boundlessly poured out kindness upon us. We therefore emulate Hashem's ways on Purim in the same fashion, if not throughout the whole year, by being benevolent and generous above and beyond. However, the obligation to give anyone who asks for help applies only to those collecting funds for themselves, not collecting on behalf of a Jewish institution. So you can keep that in mind also. Okay, now we get into a conversation of Mishloach Manot, sending gifts. The book of Esther itself, Megillas Esther, in chapter 9, verse 19, says that Purim is established as a day Mishloach Manot ish l're'ehu, sending friends. Let's try that again. Mishloach Manot ish l're'ehu, sending delicacies, tasty morsels one to another. The idea behind this mitzvah is to increase friendship amongst the Jewish people and counteract Haman's derogatory claim that we are a fragmented people, which he said way back in chapter 3 of the Megillah, that we are a certain people scattered and dispersed among the peoples, that we're not so connected. Another explanation given is that the mitzvah we have this mitzvah in order to ensure that everyone is able to partake in a Purim meal. So if you send food around to people in the community, everyone will have something to eat. Giving shalach manas anonymously only fulfills the requirement of providing food for the meal, but does not increase camaraderie. For this reason, one should be careful, sure not to fulfill the mitzvah anonymously. Additionally, in order to fulfill the mitzvah, the giver should be aware that they're giving the gift, and it doesn't help for the family to give it on their behalf without their knowledge. Furthermore, in order for the giver to fulfill the mitzvah, the recipient must be aware that sometime on Purim that they actually did receive the shalach manas. So if you dropped it at their door and they're not home until Purim is over, so not so much. All right, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing to leave it for them. You can certainly leave a gift for them, but you haven't fulfilled the mitzvah, so you have to find somebody else. Now, this year is a strange year because we are under the COVID stay-at-home restrictions, so we are doing our best to minimize contact. However, one should still endeavor, if at all possible, to give some kind of a gift. I would suggest hanging it on the doorknob of a neighbor, knocking at their door from a distance, and smiling and wishing them a happy Purim. You say, what difference does it smile? If I'm behind my mask, people can tell from your eyes that you're smiling, so give them a big smile as you possibly can, wish them a happy Purim, and go along your merry way. And remember that to fulfill the requirement, it's giving two different foods to simply one friend. More than that, anything that above and beyond that is hidur mitzvah. It's more than is required, certainly nice in most years, and perhaps in this year we're well advised to keep that to a minimum, and one can channel one's drives for fulfilling mitzvahs behidur in a nice and expansive way by giving matanos levyonim, by giving gifts to the needy. All right, have a wonderful day. Please join us again tomorrow for more halacha on Purim.